Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are. Thank you for watching. Before we go any further, as always, make sure you hit the subscribe button and like this channel or like this video and share it. Today, right now there's so much going on in the news and everything, and nobody wants to deal with it. I get it. Like, everybody wants a break. I want to speak more from personal experience today. I live in Wisconsin. I'm fairly close to what's going on. It's probably 100 miles away or so, but it's still, it feels close because it's in your state and everything. I've lived through riots, and I can tell you that riots don't do anything positive in the long run. Like, they are absolutely the most useless way to convey a message that I've ever seen in my life. If anything, they actually do more damage than they do good. At some point, I'm doing a fuller video, and I actually did one the other day. It was an hour long. I was going to put it out, but because of a video issue, the audio didn't line up for some reason. So it looked like a Godzilla movie. But what I want to talk about is how useless these things are. And, when you look at Dr. Martin Luther King, who was actually a reverend, even though we've stripped him of that because nobody wants to keep that title going for him for political gain, I think. When Reverend King came out and he did his stuff, he always maintained that things needed to be peaceful, that you could still do what you needed to do, but be peaceful and convey your message. And I would actually agree with him. So what happened, and forgive me, I'm getting a little distant from the years now, but I think it was in 92 or 94, there was the Rodney King riots in Los Angeles. And if you're not familiar with that, basically what it was the police beat a man named Rodney King, and it ended up getting caught on video. It was like the first time that video had done this sort of thing. And so there was this huge outcry that led to riots. Well, the riots were going on for almost a week, and I had gone to bed. It was Thursday night. We still lived in Wisconsin, still lived in Beloit, and I had gone to bed. I was in 6th grade. I wake up probably, I don't even know what time it was. I'm guessing it was like 11:30, maybe somewhere in that time. And my mom's screaming. My dad's on the phone with 911. He's loading the gun. I can hear him popping the cartridges in. And he's on the phone with 911 saying, if they come through the house, I'm going to shoot them. All I can hear is glass shattering, my mom screaming, my dad having this conversation, and people just screaming and yelling as they're going down the street. What had happened was a riot had broken out in our neighborhood in regards to what was going on in Los Angeles. We still don't know why it broke out in our neighborhood, because there was no trigger point in our neighborhood to set this off. Like, there was nothing that happened. And so they came down the street, they broke our windows. Once they passed, my parents took me, and I believe my sister was there. I don't remember her being there, but I believe she was there and young. They took us, though, threw us in the back seat of the car, put blankets over our head, and we left town. And so we went out to my grandparents' house and stayed the night there. All night long, I slept on the couch, and all night long I would hear cars. There was a stop sign at the bottom of the hill, and every time I heard a car stop, I would wake up and I was scared. Oh my goodness, they're coming for us. They found us. We're here. They're coming again. All this tormenting was taking place. So that was on a Thursday night. That was on Thursday. Friday, I didn't go to school. Saturday, Sunday, I didn't go to school. Monday, I go back to school. And the thing was, I grew up in a very diverse school. At the time, we were actually one of the most diverse schools in our community. And what happened was, I got to school, and I didn't know which one of my black friends had attacked my house, because all I know at that point is black people attacked my house. They smashed my house. I'm in 6th grade. I can't compute everything that's going on, but I know that this is what happened, and I know black people did it, and I don't know what black people from the community did it. And there was some stuff going around. I remember hearing bits and pieces that, it was linked to a church, and I knew some of my friends went to that church. I still to this day don't know if the church actually had anything to do with it, but there was all this stuff going on. So if you fast forward like 10 years from there, actually it'd be almost 15 years, I didn't realize that I had lived with an issue my whole entire life from that point on, where I was actually afraid of black people. And this is me being real, okay? So this is my story, so you can't say it's right or wrong. This is what I went through. I lived with this fear of black people. I didn't hate black people. I didn't dislike black people. I had a fear of black people because I didn't know who had attacked my house as a child. And it was interesting because I realized at one point, because I ended up joining a team and speaking against racial reconciliation or speaking for racial reconciliation, not against it. Speaking for racial reconciliation and cultural diversity. And I remember realizing that when I had worked at restaurants in high school and stuff, when white people came through, I was fine to talk with them, and I would sit there. If specifically black guys, if black guys came through, man, I would try to push them through as quick as possible because they made me uneasy. And it was not because I hated them or disliked them or anything like that. It was these emotional scars from when I was a kid. So all this happened. I ended up in Africa doing this training, and during this training, we had to call each other by racial names and things like that, and it was a very emotional training. And during this training, there were some things that happened where I finally understood the anger and hurt of the people who had rioted, but I also noticed that I had this issue in my life, that there was something in my life that was bad, and it all went back to these riots. So I can tell you now, if you're thinking of rioting or you're part of the riots, you're not helping at all to end racism, to end any aspect of division in America because of skin color. If anything, you're increasing it and making it worse, and you're actually proving the point of the racists who say, oh, that group is just uncontrollable and this, that, and the other thing. When it comes out on the news, that's what it looks like. Now, I will say this, much of the news of the rioters that I'm seeing is largely white people, and what's happening is the black population or the black community is getting labeled as, rioters and things like that. And when you look at these riots, many of them are just filled with white people. So these white people who say they're out, oh, we're supporting this, no, they're actually increasing racism, and they're actually doing a racist injustice by doing this because they're actually making black people look worse. And so this thing of white people going out and protesting, and let's be clear, there's a difference between a protest and a riot. And what we're seeing in many cities right now is riots. And these riots have to come to an end because they do nothing for the cause. They only hurt. And one of the hard things is the scripture teaches us that if we do not forgive others, our Father in heaven cannot forgive us. The problem with what's going on right now is it's all unforgiveness, it's hatred, it's bitterness, it's hurt, and it's all these things that need to be dealt with on an emotional level, and they're being acted out physically, and what happens is they create more emotion, and they create more hurt, and more bitterness, and more anger. So please, if you're considering to be a rioter, please just don't do it. Protest all day long, carry your sign, do sit-ins, do whatever you think needs to be done. Don't do violence. Violence does not do anything except for grow more violence. And we already saw that in Kenosha now with the shooting that took place of the goofball who showed up there. I mean, this guy's, I don't even know why he was there. He shouldn't have been there. But he decides to show up from Illinois and do something. I don't even know what. He had no connection to what was going on there. But my point is, you can already see where it's growing more violence. And please don't. Just learn to forgive. Ask God to help. Some of it, the hurt is so deep, you would have to ask God to help because it's that deep. But please, 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 reconsider it. Just don't do it because it really is not going to do any good. And I'm speaking from personal experience that this is something that is just going to hurt more people. So please, I'm saying it again, please reconsider. Be blessed. And I hope this touches somebody's heart. I really do, because if I had to live through something, I'd rather somebody else learn from it than go through the same mistakes. All right, be blessed, and I will be back again with another video either later today or tomorrow. All right, take care.